Hello, I haven't made a video in a while, but I think it's time. Many years ago, Robert Heinlein wrote a novel set in 2276, the 500th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. I don't remember the name. One of the main themes of the story was a galaxy-wide celebration of the event. In passing, Heinlein mentions that the President of the United States and leader of the free world, actually leader of the galaxy, was a Mrs. Bernstein, a grandmother. According to Heinlein, Mrs. Bernstein was elected by a computer. The computer automatically rejected as unqualified anyone who had ever expressed an interest in the job. Anyone expressing a desire to be president had to be both mentally unbalanced and overly ambitious. I agree with Fringe 111. She makes a very valid point. The silly season, otherwise known as presidential campaigning, is much too long. Before the internet and multiple 24-hour news networks, the presidential campaigns began in January of the election year. We had 3 or 4 months of vying for a nomination, conventions held in July and August, and a 2.5 month campaign culminating on the second Tuesday of November. Why the change? Politicians, by their very nature, are egocentric. They love to see their faces on television. And with CNN, MSNBC, Headline News, the 3 major networks' news programs, and Fox Noise, they get plenty of opportunities. If only they say something that can be considered even slightly newsworthy. And what this means is that our nominees tend to be bland nonentities who are photogenic and project a carefully nurtured facade of "I am for all the people," even if they can't spell the word. And their candidacies are reinforced by political talking heads driven by the need for ratings. The so-called liberal news media, MSNBC, CNN, etc., has promoted Obama to show that they are not prejudiced, totally ignoring his lack of qualifications for the job. They jab at Hillary because they're terrified by a strong woman. Can you spell castration? They ignore her qualifications or lack of them, instead concentrating on Obama, saying, "See how liberal I am? I can support a black man for president." Both liberal and conservative commentators ignore McCain's haziness on the issues and general lack of knowledge about the economy and health care. He's excused. After all, he's 72 years old and a war hero. War hero? He was a pilot who got shot down. He survived several years of horrible conditions as a prisoner of the North Vietnamese. He deserves our sympathy for what he underwent, but he was not a hero, and he has few qualifications, if any, for the presidency. Given all that, I have 2 proposals. 1, let's go back to a short campaign. I propose a law that nobody can announce for the presidency prior to January 1st of the election year. 2, given the entities who wind up as our nominees, I would like to propose a constitutional amendment. As I'm not a lawyer, I'm not sure how it should be worded, but the gist is that every presidential ballot should have a space to vote none of the above. Should neither of the major candidates receive a majority of the electoral votes because of none of the above, then the election should not go to the House of Representatives, but a new election should be held within 3 months. but neither of the original candidates would be eligible to run. Let me know your thoughts. Maybe YouTube will finally be good for something constructive.